Okay, you guys, so welcome. What is happening in the world? So, tonight is all about how is your heart. And our practice is intended to be grounding with opportunities to really breathe and let go of whatever you might be holding on to in your body and in your tissues and in your breath and in your mind space, in all of it. And towards the end of practice, we're going to bring in a little bit of loving kindness practice. And you can choose where that intention goes. It can stay with you, it can go to people that you know, it can go out into the world because the universe knows the world needs it right now. We are going to start in deer pose. And we're going to come down. We're going to bring the right leg forward, tuck the left leg back. It's a fairly strong space, especially for the lower body, for us to arrive. But I want you to support it any way that feels really good for you. So you could bring your bolster forward. You could build up our lounge chair to lean forward on. You can bring it across your body. You can support this any way you like. And if you want to stay quite lifted and let your hands just lean into the floor and your heart kind of just gently hang forward, that works too. And if your body's saying, I actually want to be in swan, then find your way to swan. But we're going to stay in deer. So find something that feels good, especially through that low back and that back hip. And if you want to sit up on your bolster, maybe it comes between your legs or behind you, that can be a nice space to be too. And then bring blocks forward to come onto. However, you're going to create this, start to let yourself come down. And if you lean a lot towards the right, might just be because we're starting in a space we haven't moved very much yet. Let yourself lean. And then close your eyes and take a sigh. And then maybe in a few breaths or a few moments, you might have space or resiliency in the body where you start to come a little bit more in line with where you think you should maybe be, which is why it doesn't really matter in the end. All about sighing breath as many times, as often as you need it. And while we're here, start to wonder, feel, become aware of where the tension is, where the stress is living. Relax the face. Release your core. And as you do that, you start to feel the back line of the spine expand. Notice if your mind is wandering or if you're still hanging on to engagement, maybe through the shoulders or the toes or in strange spaces that's unexpected. Let your awareness come back to just watch your breath and use that breath to sweep away, open up, release the engagement. Three more breaths here. Big sigh. We're going to lift the heart just enough to let our hands come to the floor. So, in case they're on some type of support, and this support might come with you, we're going to turn this into twisted deer. And you have some options with this kind of version. You could simply leave your legs where they are and walk towards the right. If you're in swan, you're going to want to draw that leg back out to the side in your deer legs. And then let yourself gently find a space to twist into. Maybe your bolster comes with you. But you could also turn this into something that looks more like a guru twist so that you bring your bolster a little bit more behind you. Maybe that back leg just comes all the way so the legs stack and you twist and come down on your bolster. Both versions are there for you to play with and explore. Find the one that feels best to the spine, through your legs. And wherever you arrive, when you arrive, take that sigh, bring it right up into the space between your shoulder blades, and then let things get heavy down towards the floor. We want to feel this across the psoas. So that's across the space of the sacrum, through the side body, spine, hips. Let this feel really good. Close down the eyes, lots of breath. Check in with shoulders, with the muscles around the sit bones, the thighs, the soles of the feet. Three more breaths. Last one here. Breathe really deep right up into the space between the shoulder blades, up to the top of the lung. Maybe a sigh. Hands are going to come down. Lift the heart. We're going to walk back towards your center and then unravel your legs. Bring them forward. Socks are going. Find a rebound shape for you. Could be beach pose. Could be some windshield wipers. Just take a moment, take a breath. Just one more here. Maybe a wiggle through the toes and a flex of the feet. We're going to come to the other side. So the left leg is in front this time. Right leg is tucking back. Take a moment to find the space where this feels good through your hips and through the top of the back foot. And then choose how you're supporting your deer, or maybe you're choosing swan. We're going to take a big deep breath, get tall, and then exhale, we're coming forward. Find your shape, let yourself splay a little bit if that's where you find your body going naturally. When you found your space, take your sigh. Check in, relax. 3 more breaths. We're going to start to lift the heart up. Let your hands come down to the floor. And you're going to choose your twist variation here. We can just walk into twisted deer, coming over towards the left side. Or you could come more behind you, bring your bolster, draw your legs with you, turn this into your guru twist. You choose. Take your time to find your way in. Adjust, shift. And then when you're ready, find stillness. Take your sigh. Three more breaths. Full and deep. Heavy release. Hands come down. Lift your heart up. Start to unravel this so that your legs come forward. Choose a shape to rebound. Just one more breath. Wiggle through the toes, flex of the feet. We're going to come all the way down to Sphinx pose. So take your time in the transition. Maybe have your blocks nearby. I'm going to give you an option to build it a little bit. So as we come down, I'm feeling it today too. Elbows are under the shoulders. Hands can be palmed down or interlace your fingers. You want to feel like you're drawing your heart forward between your arms, letting your front part of your pelvis and the top of your legs ground into the floor. Legs can be as wide as they feel like they want to be to give space to your low back. And your blocks. Sometimes it can be nice just to pop one underneath the top of the rib cage. At first, it is a little tender, and you just kind of have to negotiate until it finds its space. But it gives you a little bit of lift. And then you can always place a block underneath your forehead, right on your third eye, space to let the head be heavy. This block could be under the head. This block doesn't have to be there if it doesn't want to be. Choose a variation that's going to feel good for you. Take a full deep breath in. See if you can lengthen the spine. Exhale, the heart stays lifted and reaching forward. The shoulders move away from the spine. And the head could dangle or the forehead could rest. There's that sighing breath. In this shape, we're letting the heartbeat open. The channel of the spine is clearing. If you have gentle pressure on the space at the third eye, you might even rock your head just gently side to side. Not a lot of downward pressure, just a tiny little massage. This is our wisdom space. And breathe.
There's an option here if you want to explore. It might be nice just to stay right here. But if you want to open up through the hips and the top of your thighs just a little bit, might deepen your back bend just a touch. You could let your feet float up in the air. Maybe a touch, maybe a lot. Just make sure that your shoulders don't travel with them up towards your ears. Let them stay soft and melting away. And if you move and you choose that maybe it doesn't feel so good or not the way you anticipated, let them come back down. Wherever you are, take a heavy sigh. We have 5 more breaths here. Exhale this breath completely. We're going to lift the heart just for one moment. The gaze shine forward. You have a block underneath your third eye. You can set it aside, come all the way down to the mat. Take a rebound here. You might wiggle through the hips. You could explore bending the knees, flexing the feet, or just stay in stillness. Two more breaths here. Let's go to open wing. We're going to open up the shoulder and across the chest, making space for a little bit of freedom around the heart. And sometimes it's nice to scooch over towards the left side of your mat to start. We're going to come back down. Take your right arm straight out from your shoulder. Adjust your head and neck so it feels comfortable and supported on the floor. Maybe there's a blanket or a block that comes underneath. We're going to press into the floor with your left hand and roll onto your side. You can bend your knees. You could let the top foot find the mat. Shift and move until this feels good through the lower portion of the body. And you can relax into the opening through the shoulder and the chest. Your palms should be down. We still want to relax here. So if having your knee up and open makes you feel like you're striving and trying to go deeper, then take it away and just rest into the gentle opening through the right side of your heart. If you're bracing yourself for holding, see if you can let that go. 3 more breaths. If the left hand isn't on the floor, bring it back to the mat or just to the outside of it. If your legs are bent, we're going to straighten them and start to roll back onto our stomach. Leave the right arm where it is. Make a space for your chin to rest with the palm of the left hand and just breathe into any sensation. Might be really, really intense release, might not be very much at all because we didn't go super deep for some of us, and that's okay. Let's take one more breath here. Wiggle the fingers. Start to move your wrists. Bring the palm back in. We're going to shift towards the other side. A little shimmy to the right. Take the left hand straight out from the shoulder. Find a space for your head and neck to feel good as it comes down. We're going to press into the right hand, start to roll onto our side. It's going to feel different on this side. So shift and move, build this into something that you feel through the front of the chest, the shoulder, maybe even into the length of the arm. But enough that you can just stay, relax everything, and breathe. Three more breaths. If the right hand isn't already on the floor, bring it back. The legs start to lengthen behind us. Roll back to your front. Make a space for the chin to rest with your palm. Leave the left hand alone. A few breaths here. Then wiggle the fingers, move the wrist and the arm, bring it back. Just shimmy back into the center of your mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Let's just take one slow breath here. We're going to press back to child's pose. Do it really slowly, though. Really mindfully feel your way. Leave your hands if you're able and let your heart melt. And then you can walk them back so that your hips get heavier to your heels. This is just an opportunity for rebound. You can stay here a little longer if you like. Or you can start to take some movement, a little bit of yang. Could be cat and cow. You could move through a vinyasa. You can shift any way that you like, or you can stare at where you are in stillness. Let's take 3 more breaths. So if you're moving in one direction, make sure you move in the other. We are going to come up to sit and then come right down onto our back. You might like your bolster to one side just to support a twist, but maybe not. Bring loose the chest as you come down. Give yourself a little rock across the low back. Let it feel really good to be lying down. And then feet come to the floor. I'm going to guide us through cat's pulling its tail twist. Really deep twist. Not always accessible in everyone's body, but variations to kind of get us into that depth. And if you're like, not today, it's not really where I need to go, then I want you to take a twist that's going to feel great for you, whatever that's going to look like. If you're coming with me, we're actually going to roll all the way onto our left side. I like to start right on our side. You can just adjust your head and neck. And the leg that's on the bottom, on the side at your left, press it back behind you, kind of like we're staggering our legs back into a deer pose, sort of. And then the right hand is going to reach and see if it can find that foot. And if it can, great. Take hold. And if it can't, then just a little bit of intention or just let that piece go. And if you have the foot, this is going to give a tipping sensation as you start to bring your shoulder back towards the mat. The right leg is crossed over, so now you kind of feel like a star or a cat pulling its tail. So shift and move, find your way into a variation of a twist, maybe a variation of this twist. That feels really good. There's lots of depth here. And we want to rock so the shoulders come down to the floor and our legs are just going to come with us. Sometimes it's nice to put your bolster underneath that right knee. It might be way up in the air. Or you can take your left hand and draw it down. Wherever you are, big, deep breath in. And when you let the breath go, relax, melt into your twist. And if you found your way into cat's pulling its tail, know that at any time you can let go of that tail
and just let this be a deep, delicious twist. While we're here, can you breathe a little more fully into your heart space? And when you release it, can you relax and unravel your body just a little bit more? Three more breaths in this twist. Let your breath drop right down to the base of the belly and fill your torso. Feel the expansion. Exhale completely. If you have your tail, if you have the foot, gently release that bind. And then we all start to unravel ourselves and come back to center really slow. If you were playing in that cat's tail, the release can be quite intense. Slowly bring yourself to your back, align your spine, breathe in your rebound. One more easy breath. If you feel like you need to move a little bit before we come to the other side, then take the opportunity to do that.
When you're ready, you're going to come onto your right side. Your arm can be wherever it needs to be. Find a space for your head and neck. The bottom leg, the right leg, kick it back. Reach your top hand back. See if you can find the foot. And then adjust yourself back down. Slow breath. We start to tip back. We want the shoulders looking for the floor. The body comes with it. And then you can adjust. That bottom leg can kick back more. This top knee could be supported or just find a space. Maybe you draw your shoulder out from underneath and that gives you more availability in your twist. Close your eyes, take your sigh, and then just breathe. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Exhale, completely release the foot if you're holding it. Very slowly start to unravel. And find your rebound. Bring some movement through fingers and toes. You can move your head side to side and maybe walk your feet wide and take a windshield wiper or two. Really mindful, intentional. Take your time. And we're going to come up to sit. Find a path that feels good. Don't rush it.
We're going to build a supported fish. You could do it with blocks. You could do it with your bolster. You could do it with both. Build your lounge chair. And if you want more back bend, then maybe you leave the blocks out and just come down on your bolster. You choose. Bolster comes towards the low back, towards the sacrum. Legs are going to make any shape you want. They could be cross-legged. They could be bent knees, feet on the mat. You could find butterfly, or they could be long. Explore what feels really good for you right now. Then let the arms connect to the sides and close down your eyes. And then I want you to take a moment to think about what it feels like to love yourself. For a lot of us, that's triggering. Just breathe through anything that rises. And then with your breath, send love for yourself to yourself through every cell in your body. Maybe you say, I love myself quietly in your mind, like an affirmation. But let that sense of love and of loving and of being loved gather in your heart space, in your chest with each exhale. And now filled with that sensation of love, of being loved, of what it means to be loving. Picture in your mind's eye, space behind your eyes, so that you want to send some of that love and power out to. Could be someone incredibly close to you, could be your family, spouse, your children, could be your neighbor, someone you work with, just someone or as many people as you want to share that intention with. Let their faces, the sense of them, fill up your mind. Connect with them on your inhale and send the loving intention out to them with your exhale. Now expand your awareness, your emotional reach. Let it move outside your home, outside our community, outside our city, beyond, beyond, beyond. And with an inhale, just gather up all the love, that energy, that intention. And when you breathe out, just send it out into the world, into the universe. Let it land where it needs to land. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Draw your awareness, that sense of yourself that expanded outward. Let it slowly come back in. Feel all of that settle back into your tissues, to your heart space, through the cells of your body. We're going to come off of our supports. So bring one arm across, very slowly roll off whatever you might be resting on. You can set it aside behind you. Make a pillow with your arm. Take a moment in your remat. And if you want socks or sweaters or anything, blankets, supports for your Shavasana, you could move and take those now. And when you're ready, come down and find that space for total relaxation. Someplace where you have no desire to move.
Let your eyes close down, your shoulders tuck under. And let's take a collective breath. Let your exhale be complete. Then drop your inhale all the way down to the base of your belly. Feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, the heart lift. Just pause, suspend the breath, relax everything, and then release the breath. One more time. Slow, deep breath in, the belly rises. Fill yourself up all the way to the top of the lungs. Feel like you are radiating, and then just pause. Sip in a little bit more air, and then let it go.
Very gently coming back to breath. And if you like, you might choose to linger. And if you're ready, start to bring movement to fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Let your head drop from side to side. Reach the arms overhead, point the toes, take a full good morning stretch with a big deep breath in and then out. Gather up the knees, start to move any way that feels necessary. When you're ready, we start to find our way up to close practice. You could sit up on a um, bolster or a block, wherever you are. The heart comes up on a tall spine. Close down your eyes. Just embrace the last quiet moments of practice, the ease in your body, and maybe some of that loving kindness that lingers in your heart. And then let's bring hands to heart. It's actually an incredibly powerful intention when a group of people, yogis, send out a loving intention to the world. I think we need to do that a lot more these days. I know that if you joined me in that, it made a difference. You have my gratitude for joining me and letting me guide your practice. Take good care. I'll see you really soon. Hariom.